Hey guys, Gary Campbell back here again with the Acorn project. It's been a while since I've shown anything on this. I've been doing a few things. One, I've got the dust foot bracketed up and the dust hose on. I just made a simple dust foot that's magnetic, which I'm going to remove for purposes of this video because we're going to show that. I've got a drill rod chucked in the spindle, and up at the top here I put some brackets for a standoff and support, and actually connected my ground wire temporarily here. So that's a little bit that's gone on the back. I've also, on the front of the machine here, I've added a bit of a tool tray that holds some of the goodies that I need while I'm working on it. And then down underneath I've actually put in a box that allows me to plug in one of a number of Z0 plates or switches that I use, and then a connection up here for my 4th axis rotary, and then another switch, or excuse me, another jack for the rotary zeroing switch. Also down below and still in progress is a bracket that holds the monitor. I'm going to try to get the monitor so that it actually is the only operation of, or the only method of operator input for now. So let me get this on the tripod and I'll show you a few things. First macro I want to show you is the homing file. Now this homing file has been customized so that when it hits my switches, the move is programmed in to center the bit right on the corner of my spoil board right here. So that's an adjustment you can make, and you would reset the home by just pressing the reset home button. It will home the Z first in my case, and then go to the X, and then go to the Y. And if you'll see, when I move the Z down, that it is actually set right in to the corner of the table. Okay, back on the tripod, and one of the things that I wanted to show was the ability to make custom macros and be able to get the machine to work similar to what we've been using before. Most of us that are coming to Centroid Control come from a different controller and have gotten used to the way those things work. I've used 3 or 4 different brands of control software. They're all different, but most of them can be modified to work any way that you want. So I've taken a number of the features that I like the most, and believe me, these aren't the only ones, but I'm going to take and pop up and show a screenshot here of what my this is a picture of what my imaginary screen is. As you can see, the screen on the machine is not necessarily anything other than the original one for now, but I just wanted to show you that this is the original that I'm actually pressing the buttons on. Here are the imaginary buttons, mostly on this right side here, that I've assigned those to, and at some point in the future it appears we're going to be able to change these to however we want. So I'm going to try to get both the screen and the machine in there and go through the way a couple of these work. So the machine's now at one of my park positions, and one of the buttons that I have that I use is just go to XY0. Press the button and it does. Of course, using the jog positions, and I'm going to move the machine over here, and if I were going to want to set my XY0 there, I would press the set XY button. So as you can see, my screen changed. I can also bring the Z down, and if that's where I was zeroing the Z, I could just simply set my Z there by touching off on the material. Now I've got other ones that use touch switches and things like that, but some of the other buttons that I have is a spindle warm button. So in order to warm up my spindle every day to increase it, I will push the spindle warm button here on the screen, lifts the Z, moves to, and as you can see, the spindle started. So we don't need to listen to the spindle warm-up routine, so I'm going to escape out of that. I also have, since you can see that my XY0 has an offset in it now, if I wanted to take and reset back to the table coordinates, I've got a button here that when I press, it will go back to the table coordinates, and as you can see, and then resets them to 0. I also have a park button that if I did at the end of a job, when I get done, I want to get it out of the way, I can simply press the park button, and it will, the machine will get out of the way for loading and unloading with that. So there's also one last one that I'm going to use for the Z plate. A lot of people are not used to using a numbered tool system. So you know, let's just say that we've got a part here that's up on the table, and we're going to go and see if I got a block of wood here, and just simply zero our Z to this point on the table. We may want to set our XY to that point, and then come and using the plate set our Z0 to that point, usually on the top of the material. And we'll just press that button. So it says ready to zero to plate, cycle start. So when that's done, it says replace the dust foot, remove the clip, press cycle start. So that macro is done, and that may be a way that people that don't use or pay much attention to tool numbers can set their bit. But either way that it is, I've got all of these on my machine so that they can work whatever we want. So in any case, there's guys on the forums that are more than willing to help you customize these or get things working the way you like. But one thing you need to be sure of, that if you need to do it, you have the ability in the Centroid software to be able to modify the macros to what you want.